Okay, I think we're just about ready. Make sure my info is all up to date. Looks good. Anyway, keep going. I said I was going to try to get Descent 3 working, which, again, I did, but I can't get the stream working. That really weird era of 3D game where, I don't know, they did all this. It's kind of, I refer to it as the voodoo era because, well, one, there was a major brand of 3D video cards called Voodoo. Like that was the brand name. But also, we weren't quite sure what they were doing with 3D acceleration and what was capable and what wasn't. There was just a huge smattering of choices when it came to like PC options, and like 3D PC gaming was like really exploding at the time. And so developers were doing all kinds of crazy voodoo to get their games to run consistently. Ways that aren't really compatible with modern systems, which is why Descent 3 is kind of a problem. But again, I got it running just fine. I'm just still trying to figure out how to go about capturing it. It does some weird stuff. Anyway, that's all sort of beside the point, because this is Aquanox. So I did decide I wanted to go back into the whole 6 Degrees of Freedom playstyle again. Still leading up to finally streaming my way through Overload for the first time. It's been a lot of build-up, not a lot of payoff on that yet, but we're getting closer. With this game, which is basically, well, I've never played it before, but my understanding is, and this may be very reductive, so please excuse me, but it's basically Descent, but underwater. It does look like the environments are a little bit bigger as opposed to being mostly networks of corridors and things like that. And I think there's also like characters that you encounter and things like that. You can like trade with people and upgrade your ship. At least based on screenshots that I've seen. Anyway, let's oh man, I hope this is gonna work. A little laggy. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we'll play Aquanox tonight. When I first started up the or I should say before I started the stream, I just took a quick look at the controls, and the menu didn't seem, it seemed fairly smooth, but just there it seemed kind of choppy. Guess we'll find out. Oh dear. We may have to do something about that.
Shut up.
Yeah, let's quit. Alright, let's see if we can figure this out. can't figure out what is... maybe if we reduce this... Turn off anti-aliasing a little bit. Oh, hey, Cat Beast. Haven't seen you in a while. I guess you came back for some 60OF stuff, huh? That's what gets your attention. I'm almost considering just resetting this back to, like, defaults. See what happens. Oh, actually, yeah, let's set quality. Yeah, let's set it to low. And this is probably gonna kill the... Oh! My game looks fine, but the stream is... The stream did not appreciate that. Let me try... It's probably the resolution that killed it. Let's see if we can fix that. Maybe? Oh, you just haven't had the time or energy for watching the streams. Oh, that's okay. Alright, I gotta fix this, hang on. Maybe? Okay, there we go. Alright, we're gonna turn this into an impromptu guide for how to get Aquanox to run on modern systems. We're doing it live. Okay, so the menu looks a lot better now, so let's ramp things up just a little bit. Bit by bit, I guess I should say. I'm gonna turn everything on, but leave all of these sliders alone. Actually, maybe this. I don't want to turn too many things on at once. Okay, that's still good. Love these things. Uh-oh. I think I broke it. Yep, hang on. It crashed the game. Control Alt, you know the other one. Yep. I needed the task manager to kill it. Alright, let's try this again. Seems like the resolution it's just fine with, and all this other stuff. It's... It's one of these three, the triple buffer, VSync, and full screen anti-aliasing. Right, let's just make sure we can up-res it. Alright, let's try just the VSync. Oh, VSync's already on. Okay, nice. I don't care as much about triple buffer. Let's try anti-aliasing. Or is that set to 2? hate this menu, though, by the way. Oh, it still broke the stream. Alright, well, let me, I'm gonna turn these up and see what happens. And I'll fix that, Okay, it really seems like it's the triple buffering. Let me... You can almost make out the game, yeah. Today's stream will be in, what is the resolution? 480 by 320? I'm gonna go for the authentic turn of the millennium PC gaming experience. Okay, are we there yet? Oh no, now it's back to being all laggy. What the heck? All right, let's turn that off. Oh yeah, it really doesn't like that. It crashed again. Nice. So after the game crashes, it is actually kind of good thinking on their part, and proof that this is a somewhat common issue. It asks if you want to reset the video settings. It looks like, oh, all this other stuff like stayed on. May have to play without anti-aliasing. But yeah, sort of a safe mode feature is pretty smart for a game of this age. Play at a resolution of 1920 by 10. I might have to. So this looks like, it looks perfect for me, but the stream is not having it. And when I Alt-Tab out and back, that's what fixed it before, but that's also been what's making it laggy. Okay. Alright, does that look good? That looks nice and smooth on the stream and my system. I think I'm going to leave it alone. Smooth as sandpaper. Alright. Smooth and fluffy. Alright, I can do I'm good with fluffy, I guess. It's gonna look a little jaggy. That's okay. Pretty high res, so here we go. Let's dive in.
I breathed in the cool, pure air, tasting the rich oxygen and nitrogen. My eyes filled with tears. The sun hovered behind the horizon like an orange fireball. Sunny, that was the latest buzzword. It was talked about now with every breath, and suddenly I knew what it really meant. I stretched out my hand to feel the warmth, to touch its face. Then the timer squealed and a voice roared in my ear. Simulation room S23, your time is up. Please move to the fast decompression chamber. 2 hours later, I was back at the helm of my ship, the Zukabus, leaving the pleasure centers of the Malay archipelago behind. The nano-fabric of my pilot's seat massaged my body as I accelerated on full dipole drive, spearing into the black heart of the lifeless ocean like a nightmare shattering a dream. But the oceans were no longer as dead as they seemed. Scientists brewed gene cocktails and chromosome soups without sanction, rebreeding every life form within range of their test tubes. Mighty sharks, dolphins, even the greatest carnivores that ever lived. Primordial beasts that had terrorized the oceans 150 million years ago. The scientists did what they pleased, including creating new branches of life where evolution refused to go. They earned so many credits with their tinkering that even the most powerful computers struggled to keep up with the total. But behind the glittering facade of tungsten, titanium, and niobium, the calcareous whole of human existence was crumbling. The frequency of mass disasters increased dramatically.
Ionium?
Amok runners, psychotics, high-tech slave drivers, gene adulterators, and slick techno dealers prowled everywhere, plunging habitats and dwellings into chaos. My name is Emerald Deadeye Flint. I'm tracking down the remaining bions scattered throughout the oceans. Each one a potent germ posing danger to the world of Aqua. I carry out the Biont mission with my 4 wing pilots, Desgrange, Piccolini, Harper, and Bonham, and my onboard computer, Sally. My clients are international, representing every government. When the Bions appeared out of nowhere 5 years ago, aiming to extinguish human life in the oceans, I had no objection. On the other hand, it didn't hurt my cash box any to give humanity a short reprieve, so I went for the credits. But during the destruction of the Bion stronghold off Australia, called the Survion, my friend Hong Long sacrificed her own life so I could place the final explosive charge. Now I don't sleep too easy. And I won't until every last remnant of the Bion threat has been eliminated. My last job was in Neapolis, the capital of the Atlantic Federation. Neapolis, home to the eccentric techno-bourgeois, a genetically zapped and nano-tuned group wasting their senseless lives trying to establish the optimal political system in Aqua. All the while, Neapolis sinks deeper and deeper into a slick of pseudo-democracy, racism, techno-devotion, and corruption. Now the new line, who call themselves Democrats, are making the capital ungovernable, leading only to endless discussions, bureaucratic acrobatics, and a weakened city with a leaderless army. I was glad I was finished there and on my way to the tornado zone in the eastern Pacific. People take drugs in the tornado zone instead of ingesting nanorobots for cures, and their free-thinking attitude translates into free action as well. I was homesick, and I missed every screwball and dangerous freak who'd be waiting there to greet me. On the way, I made a short side trip to the Argentine basin to see my friend, El Topo, the Mole. Nobody pulls strings like El Topo, who can get almost anything done behind the politicians' backs. El Topo murmured something to me about an important job, a secret scientific sensation. I got a little bored until he came to the part about earning lots of credits. So I went to Magellan and spent a few hard hours at Mariner's Pride, a rotten workers' dive, where I downed mid-brain assassins with a few old friends. Just as the world turned into the carousel I was hoping to ride, I caught sight of some jerk clearing off with a Zukabus. I had never thought about that happening.
So long. Yeah.
Someone just stealing my ship out from under my nose.
Because it has to tell me all about, you know...
Suddenly I was back to square one again in my old
the origin of
ground.
Waterworld and...
Broke, exhausted,
Aqua,
heavily.
and, you know, introduce the cyberpunk dystopian nightmare that's happening underwater?
Shut up, Perry.
Why? I didn't say a word.
Just because. I don't want to hear anything
Emerald Flint.
about...
Oh, that's me.
The hero got his ship stolen? By a handful of bored neo-yuppies.
I'll get the Zuka bus back. And then I'm
Zuka
going to
bus.
examine the prostate gland of that butthead who took her with her bow.
Still as hard as Vanadium.
Dialogue.
Let's get down to business. Out of his magnanimous generosity, El Topo donates the toilet. A real death trap.
Oh yeah. After that
Make contact
giant
with him in
intro
El
cutscene,
Topo's
there's still like
asylum.
pages of dialogue. Well, okay, that wasn't too bad, but I was not prepared for any of that. Who's this lady?
We are developing a chocolate made from highly refined insect protein and fat-producing bacteria. Would you like a taste?
Sounds great. Let me have it.
Pay attention to the delicate nut flavor. We synthesized that from South Chinese algae.
Are there enough amino bits and vitamins in it?
Of course, and mood brighteners.
That's always
and
my first
glutamate
thought when I'm
inhibitors
tasting
that temper
chocolate.
the more frightful emotions. There's not much to do in the Argentine basin, is there?
We fight for every smile, ma'am.
Well, I'm afraid you won't be getting one from me. My friend Leonie and I just came over from Florida, but now that brutish ELF station of yours is giving me a throbbing headache.
What's the problem, honey?
Are you dense? Extreme low frequency waves turn people's brains into mush. Talk to Leonie. She knows more about it. You can find her at the neo-stylistic Whitewater in Vespucci, probably chewing on a chemosynthetic steak.
Okay. So I think somewhere buried in that intro, they said that my ship was stolen, so I think I'm supposed to be like buying a new one? This one? Because my current balance is not enough to buy any of these others. Right? That's the resale price, not how much it's worth. There's a lot of exposition, but not a lot of explanation of anything else. Okay, I must already have a ship, because it's equipped with stuff. I have a gun. And some torpedoes. Named Stanley. Alright, I got 2 Stanleys on board. And whatever a buzzer is. Distracts torpedoes with passive or extended passive. Oh, okay. Like flares, I guess. Generator. Okay. So, I guess the guns are going to run on energy or electricity. The generator affects how quickly they reload. Something like that. We don't have a repair kit in our inventory. Our inventory? Is this lady my ship? They had like 6 minutes to introduce this game and they couldn't explain that my ship has like its own AI. And that's whose face this is? No, she's the queen? What? That doesn't sound right. Okay, I can buy stuff, but I have no monies. Oh, I could buy another Stanley. Or a Thresher Shark. Alright. Oh, movies! Let's watch the intro again. I almost started it as a joke, but I didn't because I realized that it might not be skippable. I've never played this game, you're just talking out your ass. Okay. Well, we'll discover it together. How do I leave? Is it Doc? Next step is to... Sally, is that her name? Opo's Asylum. There's just this, like, still image graphic for this, map here. Okay, Magellan is where I'm at. I'm going to El Topo. Opo's Asylum. It would have been even more funny if it turned out to be unskippable. Maybe so. Wait, what? I thought I would have to, like, fly there. Oh, alright. Good luck then. Hope to see you back soon. I'll try not to make too much progress, because I know you don't want to miss any of this beautiful game.
How was your vacation in the TransUnion?
Surface simulation, light, oxygen, women, good food, women.
I heard about your mishap. The succubus was really stolen right from under your
They're saying it
nose.
that way.
Yeah, man, yeah, they did. I'll get her back. And then...
Please. Perry gave me a graphic description. How are things at the front?
There aren't as many of them now, but there are still enough bions to give you sleepless nights.
Bions, not
Suggestion.
bions.
You'll get a lightning-fast high-tech cruiser. All you have to do is blow away a little bion trash. It's floating around the habitats.
How about getting some guys in the orange suits to take care of them? You're just so nice to me.
Thank you, thank you. Now listen. I want you to take the toiler and recon the situation. We've just received a shipment of 3D screens and nanorobots. The captain of the cargo ship
this wall
wants
of
someone
text,
to
man.
hold his hand while navigating
really
the
necessary?
Slayer. First, I want you to meet Commodore Sewell. He's one of those young, dynamic Federation Army officers. The situation in Neopolis is worse than bad. And your old friend Admiral Cox is drifting towards the political scrap heap. There's definitely something else on the agenda. And that's why they need you. Commodore Sewell will fill you in. When the job's done, come to McGallen.
Oh my god, I gotta talk to 4 more people.
Light, my name is Commodore Sewell. Pleased to meet you, Deadeye.
Call me Flint, Commodore. Deadeye is reserved for friends and mortal enemies.
Oh, I was hoping we could be friends. I'll come to the point and not waste time. The political situation in Neopolis is, let's say, troubled. The new line, of which I am a member, are progressive thinkers.
I was
The
really
old government
expecting.
blocks anything that's fresh,
Well,
daring,
I'm sure
or
there's some
economically
action
viable.
based on.
Certain pieces of information
Screenshots
have
and videos I've
motivated
seen.
an experiment.
But I was not
I'm
expecting
not
this
allowed
level
to tell
of
you
like.
what it is, but I
visual
need
novel.
your help to complete it. Admiral Cox will arrive here in a moment. I suggest a conference. Anyhow, Light, Flint. I'll be in touch with you when the time comes.
And don't forget your credit card. The shortest way to friendship.
Boston Harbor,
Ah,
you need wings, huh?
I think I'll manage alone, Boston.
Okay then. I have a couple of bells with the ground. At least she knows how to drink.
You should see the bucket of boats El Miser Topo gave me. A snail moves faster.
So what? The hell with it, Flint.
okay. Am I supposed to know why that guy was talking to me? I almost don't even want to like. I'm gonna come back to those. I don't want to burn through all the dialogue all at once. All right. So this is the ship that what's his name gave me. El Topo. All right. So this is gonna now it's gonna give me a mission. Next mission: Asylum. Eliminate scrap at nav point. Get used to navigation. Locate smaller scrap point parts with radar. Okay. I think we actually get to play now.
Where is my Zuka bus? What kind of wreck are you hauling my circuits around in? Holy mackerel. Do you remember the high-up a couple of years ago? Just before the Bionts came on the scene? That was awful. But this tin can. Couldn't you have asked El Topo if we could get the high-up? Okay. Show me what you can do. I've put a navigation point on the junk pile. Just follow the arrow.
Alright. Now we can finally test out these controls. Alright, looks like it's going to be a little more similar to Forsaken than Descent. Oh, wait, is there no roll? And there's no mid-game options. Okay. That's something. Difficult. Very simple. Oh, I see. It's like I saw this little yellow arrow. It's pointing at this thing like, oh, I need to destroy that. But no, that's just like my waypoint. Alright, I can't go up. Explosion animation isn't very out of place. Yeah, they're a little much. I'm also... This is going to bother me the entire time. I'm not a fan of... What's the problem playing with these older games? Play nicely with widescreen resolutions. Oh.
Attention, Flint. A cargo ship reports contact with a Biont unit. I put a navigation point there for you. Move out, baby. The freighter has lost her cannons.
Stretched.
She's moving across the debris without defense. You've got to clear the way before she springs a leak.
Oh, and the game sound is too high and your voice is too quiet. That I can fix. Maybe.
I think that cargo ship captain's head is as thick as a plank. Go help him, Flint.
Hard to hear me over the explosions. Well, they're just too awesome. I was gonna say I'm tempted to try to fix the stretchiness, but well, we'll just see what happens. Because I do want to mess with the audio at least. Could turn that down a little bit. The microphone is pretty close to maximum, but I've got a lot of room to turn down the game audio. Just a little bit more. Back in here. Hopefully it still works.
Cargo ship reports serious trouble.
Alright, so how's that sound now?
Floating in its course. The pilot is angry. Hurry up, Flint. Cargo ship's captain reports damage to the hull. He can't take the wreckage bombardment much longer.
Well, maybe this fool should slow down.
Ship's about to sink. Get going.
I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing. That might be too far.
You're going Bions have been sighted in the marker. Watch out.
Attack the marked target now.
Ah, being shot at. So yeah, does that sound any better? Or do you need more explosions to listen to?
A job well done, friend.
Are we done? Mission completed. Now what? Am I supposed to like active? I assume that this is one of these is selecting. Actually, if I look super closely, I can tell. But this is in the range of color that I can't really tell the difference. Continue versus activate. Okay, I guess I got it right. There's been a lot stacked against me tonight, huh?
Hooray! The hero returns from the field of honor.
Please, it wasn't the capture of Troy, but we did get rid of the garbage.
By the way, as the boss of the ANSCAT task force, you'll be pleased. We have a Biont alert.
Yeah, let's go, boss. My torpedoes are starting to rust in the tubes.
Hey, friend, don't overdo it or you'll be walking the plank.
My torpedo tubes
pirate
shine
joke.
like a great white's teeth. Let's go plink some tin cans.
How do you like these kids, El Topo? Pretty wild, huh?
That's okay. Lisa's a lot of fun. There's a Clans Union merchant waiting for you in McGowan. He was attacked by Bionts. He'll tell you where. Report on Vespucci when you're finished.
Ka-ching! Alright, let's... What can we buy here? Can I even equip another gun? I think... Oh yeah. Got another... gun slot. Pretty tempting. Get another ship. I didn't look at these... I didn't look at these too closely. Because I knew I couldn't afford them. Wait, is that the price there? 183,000? Alright. I mean, I kind of figures I'd be stuck with this crappy ship for a little while anyway. Let's do it. Let's buy another gun. What? Did I not use the right button? Oh, okay. Menus are terrible. You have to, like... shows your inventory on the left, but that's how you buy. You like, well, I can't do it now because I don't have enough money. But you arrow left and right to like increase or decrease that. I guess that's how you sell too. That's interesting. It's an interesting design. It's just like super not intuitive. You might say it's unintuitive. Or what? Why does it say gun 1 of 2? And I can't equip any more? What? It does say 1 out of 2, right? What else would that mean if it doesn't mean 1 gun out of 2 slots? There's no indication that this gun takes up 2 slots. Okay. At least it looks like I can resell this for what I paid for it. That's nice. Your gun is half size? But then... Are we not reducing our fractions here? I only have half a gun. You asked what it could mean, yeah. Yeah, true. I don't get it. I wonder, maybe that wouldn't make sense if you can like not have 2 of the same gun equipped. I don't have any money to try otherwise, but oops. You really like to quit the game? I mean, kinda. Alright. Who's this guy?
Ooh, my friend Flint.
Do I have other guns to equip? No, but I don't, but I bought one, and then I still couldn't do anything with it.
Smart suits with an organ body hit
I could try
isolation,
again.
telescopic sight implants, neuroacoustic communicators, a cranial input to lock in our dream server.
Hey, since when do you sell technology? You used to sell high-end luxury stuff.
Ooh, I have special high-pressure yeast as well, with which you can bake delicious cakes. I have tattoos of shining luciferine pigments, holographic gills from the Clan's Union, a nose spray that wraps your brain in Bengalese dreams, creepy insects with cinnamon flavor, delicious living snacks.
Oh, no kidding. You guys from the Clan's Union are really something else.
It's got lots of stuff for sale.
Just tell me where you had trouble with the Bions.
A plug! Mud-eating parasites. When I came here to Magellan, I passed the Bion scrapyard. It was horrible.
Magellan.
They are reorganizing. One of the germ cells must still have been alive. They chased me. I got away by the skin of my teeth. You must go there and clean house, brother.
Scrapyards are my destiny. Okay, thanks. May the water around you always be clear and shining.
And may the women admire you like an Indian prince. May they give you relief.
Why does my character sound like a 1950s like gumshoe
Jeez, Flint. I feel
detective
like I ate bloody
guy?
lead for breakfast. I hate this. We need jump.
His manner of speaking is just very old-fashioned.
And no more stupid Bion.
I hear they're having volcanic eruptions along the mid-Atlantic ridge. Why don't you head over there and see if that's enough action for you?
All the hell with it. Who's gonna
Like
pay me for that?
is Flint played by
I need to
Humphrey
get
Bogart?
something in my torpedo sights, Flint. Do I look like a senile geologist? Don't answer that. Listen, you want to study volcanoes in the mid-Atlantic ridge? You talk to Pico. He's always got his face in the scientific journal. Last I heard, he was at the Junta Dive in Vespucci.
Oh, that's weird. So if you finish all of the talk options, it just kicks you back to this menu very unceremoniously. Alright, so go to the shop. We will buy... Nope. Do not want to remove and sell my weapon. We will buy this weapon. Go to equip. Gun. You are already equipped with this weapon. Oh, wait, do I have to go to ship? No, that's gonna like buy a ship, right? Yeah, so equip. Select gun. Are there any other buttons I can push here? Doesn't seem like it. Enter and spacebar to do the same thing. That will remove it. So it says 1 active, and then there's only 1 in my inventory. I can't hit left again. You are already equipped. I don't get it. But here we go. Let's get some more money. Are you trying to equip the same weapon?
I've got a call for help from a caterpillar driver.
Yeah,
from the scrapyard.
well, I'm trying to equip two of the same
There seems to be some
weapon.
kind of autonomous reorganization of rudimentary biont parts. They're coming back to life. We'll meet at the navigation point. From there, you will be his escort.
Maybe that's the issue. Yeah, I was kind of wondering that. If for whatever reason you can't equip 2 of the same gun, then I don't know why there would be multiple for sale. And either way, I don't have the cash to try to buy another type right now.
Something moving, but I can't get a fix. Lisa, what do you see?
I suggest Harper and I loiter over the scrapyard and scan it for activity. If you need help, just lure that bion breed toward us.
We should go to navigation point 1 now. Next destination, the marked object.
Oh, look at him go. I do like this this like 3D map. It's in the bottom center. Those objects are actually like 3D rendered, and you can see the terrain like built up around everything.
I got something. Junk piles with neural activity.
Oh god. Is there like a lock-on button? I was hoping for a freelancer style lead target. But I just gotta use my brain.
Another piece of debris with neural activity.
Debris? Really? Just happened to be looking right at it as it like spawned in front of me. Boom. Oh, I just read your comment that you wouldn't be going home quite yet. It's unfortunate. Hopefully you can soon. I don't think I can do anything about that.
And another one. And another one. Man, they're as pesky as merchants from the Clans Union.
Oh, these things are like flying saucers. I'm guessing part of the strategy might be to try to not attack them from the side, but try to get like above or below them. You have a bigger target. Oh, dang. Alright. Doing my kills. Writers haven't stopped making their terrible similes either. Nah. The music's kind of cool. Oh, things are happening.
Let's go to navigation point 2, friend.
Okay. Just thinking of comparisons between this and Descent. It feels very sluggish.
Yeah, target destroyed.
Which, you know, a couple thoughts about that. Number one, it makes sense. It's underwater, right? It's gotta have a little bit of resistance to it, otherwise it's not gonna feel, you know, dense.
Yeah, target destroyed.
But downside of that is it's,
I've got a report here from the
you know, when you're
scrapyard.
used to Descent and being able to move and turn
Blow the
like
remaining
instantly,
fire parts before they reorganize
I
again.
felt very sluggish, like a slug would. Yes.
We don't fancy digging in trash, so we'll leave that to you. If you don't dwell too long, I'll stick around with Lisa and watch your back.
I know it's probably also partially because I have, you know, just the starting ship, which is probably not a performance vehicle. There's also the question of scale, because all of these environments, at least so far, have been very wide open compared to the, you know, very claustrophobic mines of Descent. So it's a little difficult to compare how fast you're actually moving and how fast you're reacting. But I'll just say it feels slower. It's also somewhat off-putting that there's no roll. It seems like you're kind of locked to this horizontal plane. So that, coupled with my previous point that things are kind of slower, I think those are probably two things that they did intentionally, like very intentionally, to make the game a little more accessible to people who otherwise find 6 Degrees of Freedom games very disorienting and difficult. The being locked to the horizontal plane especially is something that would help with that. And it also kind of thematically works too, because there's always, you know, you're on a planet, you're not in some space mine that doesn't have a top or bottom because there's no gravity. You've always got like an up and down. So I don't necessarily mind it, but you know, it's always fun doing barrel rolls and stuff. And actually, alright, let's get out of here. I was going to take another look at the controls and see if maybe there is, like maybe the roll controls are off by default.
Good, you're here. We're in a hurry. There's this new ELF radio transmitter. Extreme low frequency.
It does kind of make sense on a submarine anyway. The need for ballast will probably restrict how you can orient yourself.
On the other hand, it means trouble with your population.
Yeah, that's probably true too.
They say the oscillations make them crazy and cause Parkinson's. I don't know. Look around for Sputchy and talk to Terry. A new terrorist group is on.
It's an interesting problem to solve.
Yeah, the citizens of Aqua are a bunch of ingrates. They crack at the first sign of lethal danger. I'll have a look around.
Ching. Alright, let me look at options. Oh. Well, let me save. Okay. We can... look at the controls here. Direction of view. Up, down. Left, right. Down. Okay, that's all there is. Direction of movement. Up, down, left, right. Oh, forward, back, left, right, up, down. More? Direction of movement. Okay, that's just for joysticks and stuff. And that's kind of it. Weapon controls. Camera. And then multiplayer stuff. Joystick on or off, okay. Yeah, so you're hard locked to the horizon. That's okay. I just wanted to be sure that I wasn't missing out on anything. Gravity and buoyancy are controlled by upwards and downwards motions instead of thrusters. Yeah. Or propellers or something, even though these ships basically look like spaceships. I guess they do have kind of a propeller effect to them, but I don't know, man. It's sci-fi anyway. They can do what they want. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, I can't even look at the dock yet. Alright, let's see if we can figure out these weapons. Let's get a Vendetta 2. Would you like to equip the ship slots directly with the equipment you just bought and not store it in the inventory first? Okay. Oh, gun, 2 out of 2. Now I equipped my Vendetta 2 in weapon slot 2. It definitely was not letting me go up or down before. But now that it is, can I... Well, I probably don't have money for a second Vendetta 2. Okay. I'll take what I can get. Alright, let's talk to the barkeeper first.
How's your aquarium tsunami booster here?
Great. As long as you don't plan on being able to fire the children.
Great. Make it a double.
Short and sweet.
The people are right.
Unlike Terry.
ELF
Fucking
waves
Terry.
actually penetrate the globe, which is why they're so useful for underwater communications. The new tunnel system they built is even more dangerous. Its main antenna is 300 miles long, and off Canada, there's a station that makes the whole St. Lawrence Shield dance. If you're wondering what tunneling ELF is doing to the human brains at that station, I'll tell you, it liquefies the substantia nigra, and without an implant, people die. This station here is just as dangerous.
Oh, please, Terry. There's no proof. You're just panicking. They use ELF all over Aqua because it works.
Ridiculous. We've got synaptic communication. It uses the sensory receptors of a new breed of megashark. They can recognize field oscillations up to 5 billionths of a volt.
Okay, you two. I'd like to join the scientific debate, but I'd rather chug synthahol in the whitewater and jelly up my brain. I could use some relaxation.
So they're talking about something called ELF? Extreme low frequency something, right?
Deadeye, did you know the mid-Atlantic ridge is the origin of the oceans? The Earth breaks in half there, ejecting loads of magma and shoves the continents away from each other. Every drop of water seeps down into the Earth, then comes up there again, which is why the oceans are salty. It's fantastic.
Pico, you have too much.
Might have to
free
fact
time.
check that one.
What the hell are you talking about?
Nothing. But I'll tell you, if we ever get work along that ridge, one shot
Yeah,
in
extreme
the
low
wrong
frequency.
place, that level might go up and roast your butt. Even a small
They're talking
cell
about some
with
kind
that
of
tall
like
dirt driving would do it. So keep it in mind.
signal that's like broadcast through the ocean.
Knocking back an aquarium tsunami booster.
And it sounds like it's used for like communication, but some people think that it's like bad for you. And I'm wondering if it's like 5G.
Light, Leone.
You know what I
hope
mean?
I'm not disturbing you.
I think they seasoned the steak with Epsilon taste intensifier. It's making my neck tight and burning my nerves.
Well, everything good has a price. Your friend Miriam said you could enlighten me about our ELF station.
Ah, well, did you know that the station has an
Did you
antenna
know?
300 miles long with masses of amplifiers and neuroacoustic boosters? As a result, anyone who stays here a year will likely go completely insane.
Oh yeah, that sounds
They
pretty
use
bad.
giant ELF antennas in the 21st century to change the ionosphere. They could look through the curvature of the Earth, change the weather, even detect underground bunkers and oil fields or submerged submarines.
It is 5G.
Of course, they also drove whole cities mad as hell. But then, everything good has a price.
So what's happening now?
Nothing. I have heard some activists are getting together, and I wouldn't even be surprised if your ELF station was attacked soon. They'll pretend to fumble around with the relays, but in reality, they'll concentrate on the central radio station. That's where you need to be on your guard.
These things cut off so suddenly.
How's the Galapagos crab?
Excellent. We season it with a touch of orchid from the cultivation domes of floating Bombay.
Are you kidding? Do people wait to eat it before they start throwing up?
If you prefer vomiting during your meal, sir, I recommend the shark intestine sandwich at the Junta Junta.
Well,
The
look
shade.
here. You're Deadeye Flint, aren't you? I knew you from the data channels. Sit down. I'm Freeman.
Funny name.
Oh, no. I didn't say that was my name. So tell me, what kind of ship does a hot shot like you navigate?
A borrowed one. Mine was stolen.
That hurts. I bought a bomber on the black market myself. A real cool killer machine.
Interesting. I'd like to see it.
Believe me, I'd love to show it to you, but I just sent it to Atacama City on a jump ship.
Flint, enough with the chatting. We're on alert.
And I'm after the slime ball who stole my ship.
Come on. A terror unit of the pirate scouts is attacking our ELF station.
Just like that one lady said
Can't
they were.
afford a communication breakdown. When you're done, head for McGowan.
What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say it's like there's a lot of dialogue in this game, and I'm like actually fairly, regardless of how it sounds and how long it is and how much it needs to be edited, I'm like fairly impressed that all of it is voiced, at least so far. I was going to take real quick. I have no idea what will happen if I die in this game. Feel sorry for the actors who had to read it, but also incredibly amused. Well, I wonder if they were all voice actors, or some of them sound like they could just be developers.
They're worried about their ELF station.
Alright, here we go. Wait. Oh. You just have to scroll through your weapons. I saw these double barrels on the right here. And I was like, where's my other gun? Because I thought it was going to be on the left. And like be able to shoot both guns at once. But no, it just lets me switch between them. So there's like literally no point in having two guns equipped at the same time. Ah! Am I even aiming? There we go. Oh, there's little dudes.
Target destroyed.
the discrepancy between moving the reticle, like moving your cursor, and the other UI elements, like
But the communication center is more important.
moving around, is really throwing me off with trying to aim. Because it makes me feel like I'm moving farther than I actually am. Why are all the explosions explosions? What? I think it's supposed to be like a core of fire surrounded by like a bunch of bubbles. Is kind of what it looks like to me. Which is sort of, you know, what underwater explosions would look like. But yeah, they are a little too fiery probably. Oh damn! I don't know what that was, but it probably shouldn't have exploded. These guys 3D? No, they're just little sprites.
Target destroyed.
And yeah, about the fast techno music, it really, like, it's not bad, but it's, it really doesn't fit the pace of this combat. Which, I get the feeling like they were trying to make it seem more exciting than it is.
Target destroyed.
With, faster music.
Target destroyed.
It's kind of like adding lens flare to mediocre photo to try to juice it up a little.
We've got a new order.
Oh, jeez.
ELF not. They really don't know what they want.
Nightmare Cat Beast, what are you? Are you an Aquanox character? With the dialogue box that big? Alright, where am I going? This way, I think. These environments are like kind of cool. I can't think of too many games that give you like such free reign underwater like this.
To navigation point 4.
I wish there was a little more exploration and that movement was a little faster though. But they, you know, especially for a game this old, they do a pretty good job of giving you the feeling that you are underwater. You know, I talked about the movement a little while ago.
Yeah, target destroyed.
And, like some of the sounds, like the explosions and your guns, like sound like just slightly muted. You know, like they're echoing through water. Obviously, there's this ever-present. Oops. Well, I was trying to show the surface of the water above you. That's always there, and you get this nice, like, lighting, shadowing, refracting effect on the surface, as well as like every ship in every building. From the light coming down. And then, of course, all this stuff like floating in your face.
Well done. Although you took your
They're like
sweet
pretty
time
simple
at
little
that.
effects, but they're like pretty
Death
effective.
trap you offered so generously.
Relax. I'm uploading your credits. And now for something more demanding. Did you know the ground around here is geologically unstable? We've got magma boiling under our butts. Go to McGallen and talk
typo.
to Diddy Spangler. He's the man to see about these things. He's got a job for you. When you're done, come back and see me. I'll make sure you don't leave the area or pour a man on a junk ship.
Count me in, Flint. I'm gonna oil my torpedo tubes right away.
Is that a euphemism? I'll oil your torpedo tube. Anyway, okay. So if you can only have one weapon active at a time, like Descent, that makes sense why you can't equip two of the same weapons. So I might as well actually sell this Vendetta 1. But then why would you buy two in the first place? I don't know. I guess they had trouble figuring out this actual inventory system. Oh, I've got lots of monies. Hitman. Everything's a euphemism if you say it right. Permanently reduces ship's noise level. There's stealth in this game? Kit, small block. Alright, this is the the generator. There's only one option. Wow, that's cheap. Anyway. Okay, so I want to get a different gun just for the heck of it. What do you guys want to see? The plasma gun 1 or the Hitman? Ammo, 1 E-shell. Oh, is this going to use a different type of ammo? Those don't seem to be for sale. Plasma. Okay. I don't know how to do it. I did buy it, right? Wait, maybe I didn't. Oh, I totally didn't. There we go. Now let me just like double check. Okay. Alright, it's on there. We did it. Plasma is always cool. Drug dealer.
Blackwater, Euphorine, endorphin booster, anti-HNS pills, equilibrium from the shogunate, brain shots, blue eyes, to drop into your eyes, potency boosters, intelligence boosters, dream server amplifiers here, cyber lollies, nicotine lollies, high pressure smokes, cortex stimulators for sight, touch, hearing, smell.
What's that, a list of the stuff you just took?
Anti-sleeping pills, suicide gas, only 12 credits for 1 balloon, Helionox speedsters, blue brain, ketamine, gleaming psilocybin, dreamfish glands, challenger and enemy secretion.
I think some of these voice actors are also the same. Like they're not all unique
Clint,
actors.
Is your head clear enough at the moment to hear me?
As clear as a glass of spring water.
El Topo's got a job for you. A jump ship had an accident in Entra Point 2. We don't know what happened, and we need somebody to look around.
Pirates?
Maybe. Hell, you know the area around there. By the way, there were some, cases aboard.
Anything important?
Yeah, I think so. Entrox is talking like they're just spare parts, but El Topo knows
The
they're
fuck
gas
is Entrox?
containers of an almost inestimable value. It's a new gas, Flint, with a lower density than helium. We're talking billions of credits at stake.
Got it. I'll take along Pico as my wing and try to recover what I can. Who do I talk to about my fee?
Report to
A new
Magellan
gas with a
when
lower
you're done,
density than
and
helium.
talk to Philip Sovezo. He's author.
Is it hydrogen? Oh wait, wasn't there one other guy to talk to? Yeah, talk to him now. Oh well. Oh well.
I've got a report from Entro Point 2. Top priority. We're supposed to protect their precious cargo against looters. Extra credits
Sounds
for
very
every piece of
hydrogenated
cargo
to me.
saved. Great.
We're going to need a rescue transport here.
You're
It looks bad.
hydrogenated.
We need to get the injured taken care of. Friends, the rescue transport is on its
Margarine?
way. Make sure the area is safe for
Evil,
evacuation.
evil margarine.
Pirates and thieves. Do you understand their accent? They came to take the cargo. Over my dead body.
You have a body? Prevent looting. Alright, so this is my plasma gun. That projectile is slow.
The pirates are on the attack. They must be scared that those clunky Neapolis tourist rods are going to slip through their fingers. I can smell the aggression.
Looks like it does a fair amount of damage, though. Yeah.
The Entrox emblem is on their container. El Topo thinks we should save passengers first. Get a move on, Flint.
Damn, those Entrox people are on rock.
Ah, miss.
I wonder if some of that cargo is more than a little bit illegal. Yeah, that one's headed for the bottom.
There we go.
Yeah, that one's headed for the bottom. Yeah, that one's headed for the bottom.
Okay, dude.
Yeah, that one's headed for the bottom.
They only gave him one victory line. Oh. Yeah, that one's headed for the bottom. Ah.
Rescue transporter under attack by pirates. They're not happy about us spoiling their goods.
Is that like underwater hyperspace?
Good idea.
Showed up.
Let's show them something.
We're not going to talk about that? Just noticed this giant skull and crossbones on the side of their ships. Do you think they're pirates?
Yeah, that one's headed for the bottom.
I told you. Ugh. Oh, you can like, oh boy, oh god. You turn around real fast, you can like kind of flip over.
Yeah, that one's headed for the bottom.
All right. I was looking at this plasma gun over here on the right. It says plasma 1, 59, 60, 61. That represents the energy
That one's headed for the bottom.
that it's using compared to my Vendetta 2, which doesn't use energy?
That one's headed for the bottom.
I guess the Vendetta's like... Oh, that's an enemy. A gun that always works?
That one's headed for the bottom.
And then plasma uses energy, which does slowly recharge. I was trying to figure out, like, so when I was buying weapons, it says, it like specified the type of ammo
That one's headed for the bottom.
that the plasma gun used. And I thought I would have to buy it separately, but I think it's just flavor. Which is really like kind of meaningless when it just recharges. And it's just a number.
Yeah, that one's headed for the bottom.
Oh. Oh, and you're mad about the smoke? The big ship is totally on fire underwater. No, man, those are bubbles. It's not smoke, they're bubbles. They're black bubbles. And red bubbles. Like, actually, it might look better on a lower resolution screen. Maybe if I had, like, a CRT monitor to plug in. You guys wouldn't be able to tell the difference, though. D.D. Spengler.
Whoa. The hero of the ocean stands before me, and all he can do is stare at my ward.
Peace and light, Spengler, and don't be so touchy.
Hey, lady. I come
How do
from
you know?
a snotty, filth-eating miners family. We guzzle pig iron and poop razor blades. And my ward's got more smarts than some people's brains.
DeGrange, my favorite warrior. I thought you went for a few drinks with Boston. Instead, you're hanging out with the dead branch of your family tree.
Dopamine Harp wasn't buying. Besides, he's about as charming as a giant shark on
Dopamine
a
Harp.
diet.
Is that somebody's name?
I think our friend Spengler here might have a job.
Yeah. You gotta go down the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. We detected several Bayern scouts there, and God knows what they're up to.
Why are you always asking me to do your babysitting jobs?
Oh, get going. Off with you. Save the world.
You may be doing just that. We suspect a large Bayern cemetery there, and you know how they tend to resurrect themselves.
All right, but I want Lisa to come along and keep me company.
Bions resurrect themselves? Are they like Forerunners?
Thank you very much, Flint. Well, we'll add the saved cases to your pay.
Blah, blah. Listen, there was gaseous gold in there, so don't get stingy.
Oh,
Gaseous
no.
gold?
I'm on your side, Flint. I'm not one of those Entrox office farts. I work in the power storage.
This game is
space.
wild, man.
You can rely
I
on
don't
me.
know.
Great. You've got my account
It's
number.
all the crazy shit they like come up
Flint
with.
and Wings Incorporated. We clean up any mess.
I'll make sure you get a bonus for each of the cases you saved.
The usual way to put out fires is by putting water on them. But these aren't like wood fires. Some fires can't be extinguished by water. Next mission, magma. Oh man, I'm only 60 credits away from not being able to afford that gun. Should I be using like more missiles? I guess there's no limit. Can fire start over underwater? Oh no, it doesn't reset the... Oh man. I haven't used a single Stanley. Oh wait. Let's buy a cup. Oh, that's... Oh, okay. My credits are counting down. I was like, they're only 210. How is it that 2 costs so much? Alright. It's a really weird way. Okay. So I guess you can only carry like 4... Yeah, you can only carry 4 torpedoes in with you. I feel like I haven't really needed them. Fire will only last a matter of seconds before the water smothers it. But what if the water is on fire? Did you think of that? Magma. Listen to Bonham. Then you're a very talented alchemist.
Let's go, Flint!
Well, yeah, I mean... Clearly,
Hey guys, check this out. We're
with
right over a hot spot.
Aquanox
Did
technology...
you know the hot vents are the origin of all life on Earth?
I don't know, I don't really have an
Under
argument
that
here.
thin crust, down there is a raging sea of liquid magma. idea of meeting an entire armada of self-regenerating bions is making me a little bit nervous.
Sorry to interrupt your date, but check out the radar screen. I see bions.
Hey, where are they off to in such a hurry? Come on, Flint, let's follow them. What's up with them? They're not even defending themselves.
Should I just be following them? I guess I'm supposed to listen to her. It was in the mission briefing. You somehow turned hydrogen and oxygen molecules into organic carbon so it could combust. Yes, exactly. Finally, a man of science.
What the heck is that?
Or a cat
It
of
looks
science.
like the remnants of a bion battleship.
Why am I shooting unarmed civilians? Good question. 'Cause sometimes they shoot back?
Yeah, target destroyed.
Give me your belly.
Yeah, target destroyed. Yeah, target destroyed. Yeah, target destroyed.
I guess I don't really need to do much. She seems to be fine taking them out all on her own.
Yeah, target destroyed. Yeah, target destroyed.
Oops, that's not what I wanted to lock onto. Tiger destroyed? No. Target.
Yeah, target destroyed.
Look, the subtitles are right there.
Uh-oh. My friend Flint won't like this. I'm picking up a larger biontic signature. Looks like a bomber. I'll bet you wish you had the old Tsukabus back.
Tsukabus. How about we use a Stanley? Whoops. Oh, you can do that.
Yeah, target destroyed.
Alright, let's get rid of this guy. Ah!
I took a big hit. It looks bad. Yeah, target destroyed.
Whoop! Okay, so that's a concussion missile. Need to not be like right in front of this thing. Whoa. Oh, the subtitles are too small. Yeah, I should have thought of that. They're like pretty small for me.
Target destroyed. Okay, I think we found what we were looking
shit.
for. Why wait until others show up? So let's get our butts out of here.
Lisa's right. We've done our job. Let's go home.
Yeah, let's do this thing. It's kind of interesting. I'm still trying to figure this out. seems like a lot of missions don't automatically end when you like complete your mission objective. You can just like kind of keep playing. Like just then, I chose to bug out instead of get demolished by 3 bombers. But there are some missions that just immediately like kick you out. Well, there's like a little countdown, but you have no choice. So I wonder if there's like sort of hidden mission objectives. Like if I had stayed and destroyed those 3 bombers, would that have like unlocked some, I don't know, bonus dialogue or some bonus rewards or something? I don't know if this has like a branching story at all.
Light, you are my new assistant? I've been waiting for you for...
Slow down. You scientists are always so impatient. I think you suck on your test tubes too much.
Oh, a comedian.
What do you do here?
I am an evolutionary biologist. I am in charge of the dolphin breeding program. Unfortunately, we have been having trouble with the Liopleurodon saurian, but we're not allowed to shoot him because a single specimen is worth more than 1 billion credits. Still, if someone were thinking of taking a Lio on, say, hypothetically, they would want to distract him in order to get a bead on the spot between his head and body. That's where his ganglionic center is most exposed.
I'm guessing I'm about to fight one.
Excellent work getting rid of the biomes. Flint, Admiral Cox and I are waiting for you in the press center. He's a good man, and not just because of everything we've been through together. Too bad he's being discredited up in Neopolis.
I'm not surprised. What an old grouch. He doesn't fit in with the new line.
Shut your yap, Perry. What kind of
Yep,
line
Perry.
is that anyway? Genetic engineering, corruption, exploitation of the miners?
They even want to outlaw sleeping. For them, every answer involves a new kind of human being.
Calm down. Cox will really fall into disfavor if he keeps talking like that. I've even heard it said that he's considering a coup. Damn. Head for Entrox, Flint. To the wonderland of energy and profit.
Great! I've always wanted to see the Gulf of Mexico. Is it true what they say? That the whole of the Florida Strait is one giant turbine field?
Yeah, but the Gulf Stream recaptures its momentum slowly. Entrox will make billions of credits with transport technology, fusion reactors, and the production of breathing gas until the Gulf Stream gets moving again.
Enough. Get moving. Cox is waiting for you
Yes,
in the
give me
press
funding
center.
so I can
And remember, Flint,
ascend
this
these
job
dolphins.
is more important than anything you might find along the way.
Please, a donation to the Hadesian sect, mercenary?
What do I get in exchange, old man? Redemption, freedom, or inner peace?
The Hadesians seek fear, terror, horror, and darkness.
Wow, that's not your usual kind of salvation.
Ah, Flint. Too many cubic miles of water have passed the Denmark Strait since we last met.
True enough, Admiral. How are you?
I
That's
haven't
a
been
saying.
sleeping well since my wife passed away.
Is it a saying?
Besides that, I'm no longer able to put up with these wise guys in Neopolis. They send me out to sea every chance they get just so they can build their brave new world without interference.
Is it really that serious, Admiral?
Is a fish's butt watertight? Ah, forget it. It's imperative that you get to Entrox headquarters in the Gulf of Florida. You're to meet with a new boss, Sergi Chang. He's got information for you about some medieval encrypted data, which currently happens to be in the possession of his predecessor.
What's the data good for?
You don't want to know. All I can tell you is that it forms the basis of an enormous scientific experiment in the tornado zone. It's under the command of an Officer Sewell. I am at liberty to tell you, however, that Sewell is a self-opinionated twit, and a snot-nosed little upstart, and a slippery bootlicking...
Aye, Admiral. We get the picture.
You only think you do. I'll meet you at Entrox. Here's your jump ship ticket for the passage. You can redeem it at Entropoint 2.
What do you know about this Entrox job?
Not much, but I do know I don't like the idea of meeting old Vanderval again.
Who?
He's a shark, and he's still active.
But with Chang's new management, Entrox is under international control. Besides,
I hear your old friend Christina Lloyd is working for Vanneval himself.
Yeah, I know. She's a monster. Someone should give her the coup de grace.
Damn. The tornado zone, where even tornadoes are subject to zoning restrictions, is much more boring than it sounds. This entire game is kind of more boring than it sounds. Is a shark? Please, please, please be literal. I kind of doubt it. But who knows? Maybe they've got hybrid people in this game. Alright, what have we got? Stanley. You have all these, like, cool sounding gun names: Vendetta, Plasma, Hitman, and then all these missiles are named after sharks. I guess not Flash Shark, but still. And then you've got Stanley. Why? Let's take a look at this gun. I guess I might as well reload that. Oops. A little too quick on the button. That was kind of cool.
Light, sir. How
Intro
can
point,
Intrex
lady.
International Company help you?
Making sure my jump ship doesn't sink.
Oh, our technology is very safe, sir. We feature improved dipole proportion, titanium, and Nubian hulls, and a passenger frame that is redundantly supported by nanomaterial.
That's great, sweetheart, provided the pilot isn't drunk.
Our pilots regularly pass a rigorous training and qualification process. May I suggest a tranquilizer, sir?
How about you just sit on my lap and keep me calm?
I'm sorry, sir, but even a charming smile like yours can't work miracles.
That's life. The pure of heart never get the chicks.
Not for the lack of trying, I'm sure, sir. Have a safe journey. Oh, there are two gentlemen waiting for you just over there, sir.
Commander Flint, good to meet you.
Don't call me that. I have a reputation as a non-conforming philanderer to protect.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, first you got a crew that wants to be paid.
Don't worry. The Scientific Committee of the Federation will pay substantially for the recovery of the code data. On top of that, I'm sure that Entrox will have some remunerative chores for you as well.
That would be nice. You know, the cost of living just keeps rising, and I do have 4 gluttonous mouths to feed.
Oh, the hell with it, Flint. Without us, you'd be as dead as
4
rancid
kids.
muscle.
What is it?
Mercenary humor. Take care then, and I'm sure we'll meet again in the tornado zone.
I'm sure we'll meet again in the over there. We still don't have our mission yet. Where are we? Puerto Rico. So we're in like the Gulf of Mexico. Gotham? What?
I was on my way to a massive corporation.
This is
in the
Earth.
Gulf
It's
of
definitely
Florida,
Earth.
near the deepest abyss in the Atlantic, the Milwaukee Deep.
Unless there's another Gulf of Mexico somewhere else in the galaxy.
Entrox, under new management, was Aqua's nerve center for breathing gas, fuel, and transport. I was also looking for the antique data treasures that Admiral Cox and the rest of the world's elite powers were desperately trying to find. The fact that I had to search the area our ancestors called the Devil's Triangle, east of a group of islands called the Bermudas, gave me a pretty good idea that whatever they were looking for boded ill. An ancient legend said that this aquatory was the playground for the devil himself. Of course, another story said it was a secret alien base carrying out electromagnetic experiments. To me, it looked more like a
Oh yeah, that's weird. It didn't like your
forefathers knew little about ships,
way you formatted that
compass
other
needles, and the
comment.
aero and hydrodynamics of the atmosphere. Then there was the threat that a massive methane bubble might break loose below and head for the surface, weakening the specific gravity of the ocean, which just happened to be keeping my ship afloat. Whoever created the power plant world of Entrox must have had a large and voracious brain with an extra gland devoted to hellish madness. Under the Entrox turbine facilities, you can feel the crushing threat of extinction more than anywhere in Aqua. Our feeble-minded ancestors located their most highly developed launch site here, eager to conquer what they called the heavens at any cost. All around me on the seabed were the twisted remains of their idiotic efforts, testifying instead that they ended up down here, in hell.
This guy really doesn't have much reverence for his forebears. And we're back. And we got more people to talk to.
Flynn, damn. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to give you a proper welcome right now. I've got to shove off.
Sergei Chang, the new boss of Entrox, in a hurry? What's up?
We're in trouble. The supporters of my predecessor, Leo Van der Waal, are hitting us again and again with sabotage and terrorism. I just met with Lisa Bonham, one of your wings, a minute ago. If you want to know more, talk to her. I just don't have the time now.
Great. I wonder where the hell she's off to now.
How may I help you, sir?
How about 2 out of 3 falls in my bathtub?
I'm sorry, sir, but that's
What?
outside of my area of expertise. I'm trained to sell tickets.
Tell me, how do you like working at Entrox, Sugar Coral?
It's much better than it was under Van der Waal. We even have a trade union now, and the retirement benefits are first class.
Okay, but what about sex and crime? I hear you guys do a great side business in industrial espionage.
Competing in the international market requires vigilance, sir.
Believe me, the new Entrox is above board, under control, and international. It's not the old tangle of power and money that it used to be, when Leo Van der Waal still wielded the scepter. It's a fact that his gun-running gang almost triggered a war.
You don't have to tell me about it. I was there. So where's Van der Waal now? Jail, I hope. But people like him don't usually do time.
Not unless you consider a stylish new station off Old Hudson Bay doing time. It's called Gotham. They rake in mega credits through illegal methane hydrate mining in the Bermuda Triangle, along with the usual techno smoke.
Harper likes to keep track of any possible source of income.
Watch out, Harper. Too much avarice blocks the blood vessels.
That's what they used to say about salt. I think it's all hogwash.
Personally, I think Van der Waal may be planning a return to power. He's already hired a real fighting machine named Lloyd to head his ex-Interpol battle gang.
Christina Lloyd. I know her. She looks like a patchwork quilt. A real plague. Dangerous as a great white. Hey, DeGrange is calling for me for check-in.
Say whatever you want. Hydrate is a superb energy source. You can't blame Van der Waal for getting in and making a profit.
They have an
before a
expression like
bunch of
hogwash.
international
Or are they raising
office
pigs
farts
underwater?
decide who gets what and how much.
If it's illegal,
Obviously,
it's
they
illegal.
have, like,
Methanhydrate is intended to be a democratic
pig
fuel
raising
with
stations.
fair and equitable distribution.
Sediment, my
Domes.
dear, sediment.
You go look
I
for
won't
the
hear
pigs.
such nonsense. What does fairness mean in Aqua, when there's always the threat that someone will turn off your air? We live like drones, sneaking and ducking around, keeping our traps shut in the hope we'll live another day. Protest once against anything, and you get your throat torn out.
Well, man is dominated by physical urges. Gluttony, territoriality, and procreation.
Oh, stop your complaining, Flint. Think positive.
How is that relevant
Life
to what that
means
guy just
hope.
said?
Lady, knock off the esoteric waffling. Hoping means freaking out.
Flint, make your way to the power station. Chang will contact you there. And don't forget, Vanderval's gang is as
His
dangerous
conversations
as
are so like,
Yeah, I know.
disjointed.
He's got Christina Lloyd running the show.
Lloyd?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that Will Sadler, he kind of looks and sounds like a farmer of some kind. Maybe he knows where the pigs are.
She is tough. I mean, really tough. I saw her in the Peru Trench during the hot vent crisis. She went in there like a barracuda. No inhibitions. I blew the stern off her bomber and she navigated what was left of it in her diving gear. She went for it. Sheer suicide. I've heard since then she has an artificial spine.
Yeah, made from alpha ceramics. That's what they're using for the new weapon barrels. You better watch out.
Lloyd is 100% the product of the Shogunate. Nerves of steel, bones of triple-hardened silicon carbonate, and a killer shark mentality.
I'm laughing because of all of the Aquanox slang and buzzwords they threw in there. Ugh. When do I get to play again? Oh, you gotta go? Ooh.
Welcome to Entrox.
What's the word, Chang?
I know why you're here.
Chang can't wait for you.
Honestly, I have no idea what the contents of this ominous data file
But
are.
thanks for
I also
watching so far.
A game where I don't know the rules.
I'll let you know if I find those pigs.
Slate in my house. I trust Admiral Cox, of course, but not the Chaos and Neapolis. If I were you, I would talk to the workers at the power storage station. They know the score. If a valve is jammed in Aqua, they can not only tell you where, but also when, why, and for how long.
That's good to know, Chang. Anything else?
Watch out for Vanderval and his gang.
Why did you ask that question?
Particularly Christina Lloyd. They're working to hydrate the Bermuda Triangle in open defiance of international treaties. They're also involved in gun
So,
They
why is
need
this
to
guy so
transfer
quiet?
Technology, the gene trade, and who knows what else. Don't make the mistake of thinking Vanderval's a toothless ex-tycoon. He's a mean old buzzard with a bite worse than a megaship.
Well, if he bites me, he'll need new dentures.
That's exactly the kind of attitude we need to try and Flint.
I'll be there.
Oh my god. Right.
Light! We're debating the pros and cons of the various communication systems.
You know.
Sounds riveting.
Synapses, ELF. If you cut off just one station, it's as good as a death sentence.
What's with all the talk about synoptic communication?
Bionics, man! Via genetic engineering, Machina Antarctica has produced a highly sensitive ampulla of Lorenzini. Now, electric
Who did
impulses
what?
can be passed from one synapse station to another. It works best in the SOFAR layer, where cold and warm waters meet.
In the
future, everyone in Aqua will have their own synaptic number, and communication will be entirely neuroacoustic.
Enough, Leonie, enough. You'll have to excuse her. She's a physicist. She welcomes every change, but not me. I'm not that smart. And don't ask her about the turbine fields.
Oh, yes! We're registering increased velocity of the Gulf Stream. It won't be long until we reach the petawatt limit. For the first time in more than 500 years.
That sounds very industrious. Tell me, do you know anything about some antique data carriers that Vanderval might have in his possession?
That old codger has millions
Just
of
making
credits
up.
worth
That
of
sounds very
antiques. Try talking to
industrious.
Silveso at the power station. He used to decode transmissions for Vanderval.
Okay, we're done.
Light Deadeye. Have you been to Gotham before? I love it there. All that ultra-antique stuff like the Statue of Liberty, the Brooklyn Bridge. It's great.
Great and strange. Listen, I just ran into Chang and he was flying out the door.
If
From the look of him, the pressure's on.
if the Gotham above water
What did he tell you?
is home to Batman, is the Gotham underwater home
Vanderval's men are
to
helping themselves to Antrox energy.
Aquaman?
That's why they're sneaking around at the power storage station. They're tapping into it. They're acting pretty impudent because
Or
they
is there
know
just
they've
an
got
underwater
better weapons
Batman?
and better pilots. When they bring in
I mean, it's
their
gotta be one
tanker
or the
with its
other, right?
incredible energy storage systems, they flank it with scouts and bombers from the old Entropol Guard.
What the hell are the new Entrox police doing?
About all they can do. They sit back and watch. They're not up to it, Flint. They're kids. Hurried through cadet school and rapidly promoted. There is no experience there at all.
Sounds like our cue.
Yeah, but we're under strict orders from Chang not to destroy any of the Antrax station systems. That's not going to be easy.
What can I get for you, stranger?
I've been hearing about a new kind of disease that comes out of the brackish water of the South China Sea. It kills people, but they're not dead. They turn into vegetables, but something inside them keeps kicking.
Oh, now we got underwater
Just what you're
zombies?
talking about. One Aquarium Tsunami booster coming up.
Jeez, I feel like freaking Alice in Wonderland. Everything's so techno-cool. I think my smart suit's gonna freeze to my butt. I need fire, action, glowing torpedo tubes.
Having another one of your dopamine overdose fits, Harper? You've got your orders. Recover that data.
Whoa, the hell with that. I'm not a sleuth, Flint. I destroy things for a living.
Listen, Vanderval isn't going to make this easy for us, so we'll need good recon.
All right, I can't argue with that. I hang around here, knock back a few hard drinks, and try to blend in.
Harper, even when you're on your best behavior, you're about as inconspicuous as a stingray in a bathtub. Ask around, but make it snappy. We don't have time to waste on this one. Well, I know a war heroine when I see one.
Flint? Dead-Eye Flint? Jane Brooklyn, sabotaged to order. I heard they turned you into algae fertilizer off Australia. So what's a gorgeous hunk of human being like you doing in Vanderval's backwater?
Still kicking, for one thing. It's not easy turning me into
We'll get there.
Tell me, have you heard anything about synaptic transmission stations and how they can be eliminated?
Hey,
I'm trying to
you've
figure
got
out,
something cooking, don't you? Well, I just
I don't
had
have a
orders to
cursor
clean
here.
up an outside branch of the Shogunate.
It says dock, right in the center of the
Being
screen.
taken offline for a while. The rule of thumb is to
Oh,
destroy
that's
the attached habitat
location.
that contains the cutout switch.
I'm talking to
which
Jane
brings
Brooklyn
down the whole system.
at the dock.
If you want more, talk to Atahualpa Jones. He's dealing drugs in Atacama City now, but he comes over here to make bulk purchases of synthetics. He's also a former Introx cop.
Because I was wondering with, like, this guy and the previous ones, it said Blazing Ice, which I think is, like, the name of a bar in this station.
Introx. The techno-gothic hype.
Don't make that very clear.
Everything's so wet.
But the progression of this kind of reminds me of Freelancer,
Whoa! Is going to happen
where you stop in
right
at these stations, talk to people, get your
Jones, I
missions.
think you better zip home to the tornado zone.
But you usually see your character, like, sitting down, and you can kind of see, like,
a holiday like this.
the inside of where
You ought
you're
to
at
concentrate on something
after they
else, like the
show
Entropol
the
ships
establishing
Vanderval
shot.
uses. I hear you used to pilot one yourself.
I wonder which came out first.
Blood and bone splitters.
Because in Freelancer, you actually fly yourself from, like, station to station.
Never slept. We could do it.
Because there's always a chance you could get set upon by pirates, or, you know, there's other opportunities for you to do stuff while you're traveling. In this, it just, like, teleports you there, basically. Which is kind of convenient, but it's a little less immersive.
Spot on the side of their ships that isn't covered by turrets. Dude, those turrets can't swivel down vertically. An easy thing, but you better keep moving. When you have breakfast with the devil, you need a strong spoon.
Yeah, I've always been known to say that. When you have breakfast with the devil, you need a strong spoon. All right, Finally, we got another mission. Jeez. I was saying it was impressive that everything is voiced, but there is so much dialogue. The turbine field is very large, so this job might take some time. Oh boy. Oh, they're extremely large, too.
We should go to navigation point 1 now.
Whoa. That is not what I expected this gun to do. I hope they don't mind that I'm shooting at their turbines for practice. Oh, shit. I just wasted a Stanley.
Let's go to navigation point 2.
I've got like 5 of these like gauges on screen. Actually, I've got lots. So the top, I think the 2 at the top, I think one is shields and one is hull. Just a guess. Not labeled, obviously. No one's told me what they are. I've got one on the left. No idea what that is. Got one on the right. Nothing going. That doesn't go down when I fire my weapon. So I have no idea what that is either.
To navigation point 2. Let's go.
There's one in the middle by my map, my radar. Not sure what that is. And then there's these 3, Sen, Jen, and Eng. Eng must be engine.
Now we're going to
Oh, Jen would be generator, and Sen is... Not sure what that is. And I feel like I haven't really noticed any of them being depleted. With the exception of the ones at the top, that's how I know that it's health in one way, shape, or form. Then of course we got speed, which is your absolute speed. Not just like, not your engine speed.
Next destination, navigation point 3.
It looks like these things actually affect the speed of water around them, which might be an interesting challenge. We've got depth. We've got, I think this little thing, it says 0 between my speed and my depth. I think that's the buzzer, which would basically work as countermeasures if I get locked onto and missiles are
Now
fired.
we should look for navigation point 4.
I don't know what this thing is that says 3 next to it. It could be this. I have 3 Stanleys. But I think it said 3 before I fired that one Stanley. I don't know. And then these other 2 things on the left that have like, those look like PC power buttons. I don't know what those are. Maybe that's just to make it look fancy. Where are we going? What are we doing? Ooh, shit.
Chang to Anscat troops. We're experiencing a massive loss of energy. Knock that cargo ship out of commission.
Alrighty, so these guys can't shoot down. Just gotta sit here and... Oh shit, okay. Maybe I shouldn't just like sit still. guy came up to me and didn't last very long.
That's all. Your mission here is over.
That was fucking quick. It was all like this. The turbine field is large. It might take a while. Like, I was gonna have to go all over the place. It took like 2 minutes.
Good work. Clearly, we need to beef up our security forces.
That's not a bad idea. Vanderwaal's gang seems powerful and motivated. They've got enough criminal drive to make a diplomat blush. Why is that?
There's one transport.
The fall of the Entrox Old Guard bonded them
That ship
together.
totally looks like a lobster.
Vanderwaal is a charismatic man, and he doesn't mind sharing his success with his men, like a pirate captain who shares his loot.
Speaking of sharing and loot, I look forward to your upload of credits to my account.
The plasma gun doesn't look as cool as you were expecting. What were you expecting?
Are you Soveso? Charlie and Leone told me.
If she had one of her blabber attacks, I can only imagine what Leone told you.
Actually, she said you might know something about Vanderwaal and some antique data carriers.
I used to decrypt and catalog information.
But yeah, I feel like coming from a game
But
like
that's not my
Mother
business
Gunship, all the guns feel like
if it's important,
kind of
go
lackluster,
to the
right?
Blazing Ice and see if you can find little Kiz. She got my old job, and believe me, she's no fan of Vanderwaal's.
Cox here on a secure line. It's starting. It won't be long until old Vanderwaal contacts you, Flynn. He already knows you're snooping around. Stand by for further instructions regarding Operation Brainfire.
Brainfire? Ooh, that sounds important.
Important?
Brainfire.
Important is crap dump compared to what's at stake here. The demons that got themselves expelled from Entrox call their new station Gotham. It's an old name for New York because it's located near the Hudson Canyons. They're exploiting methane hydrate resources in the Devil's Triangle illegally. It's clear that they need to return
So
to
what
the
year is
highest
this game
levels of
from?
power at Entrox.
I believe it was made in 2001?
I'm sending you some
2002?
documents outlining your position. If Leo Vanderwaal doesn't accept the offer, we go to Plan B.
You've been identified as Emerald Flint. Please give the reason for your stay.
I'm on holiday, pal. What else would I be doing here?
Definitely the wrong answer. We'll keep an eye on you.
Don't look too close or I'll be a splinter in that eye, pal. Out.
So definitely like Xbox, late PS2, GameCube, Dreamcast era graphics. Along with that era's
Sweet
design
little
sensibilities
Lisa.
and
What brings you this way, baby?
I'm trying
musical
to choke
taste.
down a cocktail called A Mouthful of Liquid Death. I think I'd have better luck with a mixture
Oh,
of
catchy
liquid
name.
nitrogen and nitric acid.
You hearing anything about possible jobs?
You bet, boss. I met with Chris Kruger, the cargo ship captain from Benthus Unlimited. They are loading near the cold vents at the Bermuda Triangle. And there seems
It's
to be
becoming
a lot
apparent
of
to me,
trouble
I
in the
guess
water.
they've dropped a few hints about
Talk
this,
to
but
Kruger, and fortune may smile on us.
so these people that are marked
He's
as
in Chang's
lieutenants,
office right now.
so Lisa
Sonny
Bonham,
Are we gonna do the
the
job
other
together?
dude,
I hope so.
who always like
If anyone
jumps in
finds out
loudly.
I'm talking
What's
to
his
you,
name?
They'll beat me to a pulp. You don't know
Anyway,
Vanderwaal and his brutes.
I guess they work for
Salam.
me?
Don't be afraid. I'll protect your identity. Vanderwaal won't find out if we make this quick. So tell me, where can I find the code data?
He has a special place where he hoards his most precious treasures. In the torch of Lady Liberty. It's the perfect place, absolutely secure. Except you can crack it with brute force.
Damn.
So it's
Well,
not
if
secure.
Force doesn't work, we'll just take the whole damn statue. I'm sure as hell no safecracker.
Watch the old Entrox cops. They've got it covered like white on rice.
Flint!
Ah!
Christina
Ah!
Lloyd and Leo Vanderwaal here. I'm ready, so you're still breathing, Flint.
Now, hold your seahorses, Christina. Why don't we try talking like civilized people?
Okay, here's the deal. Vanderwaal, I'm authorized to offer you and your collaborators amnesty in exchange for turning over an antique data carrier. Designation NASA 01MS.
To hell with that, Flynn! I'm free now. I don't need any
What is up with her
state
face?
amnesty.
Now, listen carefully, Flint. There will be no data. You know I'd back any experiment that promises a profit, regardless of the consequences to Aqua. But this data is too dangerous. You do not want this data. Believe me. And even if the oceans evaporate to the last drop, you will not get it.
If that's the way you want it, you already put yourself on a pedestal once.
Yeah, so
and we
readings
brought
like
you
that
down.
That we've got diplomacy out of the way.
really convinced me that not all of these are professional voice
Because of
actors.
what you did to me, I'm going to pull every one of your organs out of you within the next 48 hours.
Hey, Jigsaw Face, you must be dreaming.
Your attitude will change when I've gotten my hands on your throat.
That's it. I fulfilled my mission. We'll leave the rest to the future.
That future will be
The main guy sounds
history
kind of
for
familiar,
you.
though. I'm trying to think of where else I might have heard him.
Flint, what's become of our offer to Vanderwall? Nothing, I suppose.
Flat, Admiral. So what now? Plan B?
Yes. It's time to make them sweat blood. First, I want you to cut off Gotham by destroying the ELF and Synapsis stations. Then get those data carriers. When you're done wreaking havoc, head for the new Entrox headquarters and report to Chang.
Aye, aye, sir. Out.
So you've probably noticed by now, because it's kind of distracting, at least sometimes. It's an interesting touch. I like what they tried to do with the like ambient noises in the background when you talk to people.
Ah, Flint! What are you doing around here?
I'm taking an
But I feel like they're mixed a little bit loud.
Do you happen to know what methane hydrate is good for?
It's
Especially for a game that has like so much dialogue
One
and
cubic centimeter of
voice
methane
lines in
ice
it.
produces 170
It gets like kind of
cubic
tiresome to hear
centimeters
some of that stuff,
flammable
especially
gas.
like the radio
That's
noise
good for remote or isolated
and like
stations and
interference
dwellings.
noises.
It's also cheap and democratic, now that no one is allowed to exploit it on their own.
It's an interesting idea to add like a little bit of
So,
extra dimension
see you
to
again
these
sometime.
conversations.
And remember, if you
But,
froze the water in all the
was
oceans into
just
1 cubic kilometer ice cubes,
laid on a
they
little
would
too
cover
thick.
the distance from the Earth to the Sun 10 times. Isn't that amazing? The Sun is 149 million kilometers away.
Sun? What the hell is a sun?
It's an interesting thought to have lived your entire life underwater and never actually seen the sky or any of the celestial bodies. Sneak drive. Hang on. It's saying I should bring torpedoes. Do I have mine refilled? There we go. Bring 4 Stanleys with us. Vendetta Gatling. Oh, I don't have enough. Oh, I do have enough money for that. And, oh, I could up my generator. Although I haven't really run into a situation where I've used up all of my energy anyway. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Okay. That's the right thing. Wow, this is such a bad way to show, like, what's equipped and what isn't. You have to scroll to it just to see if it's equipped in the first place. And it'll show active. Oops. Let's try that. And this entire color scheme of this menu, the yellow and green is like pretty ugly. I gotta say, a little biased because I can like sometimes not even see what I'm doing. But all right, we got to figure out what sneak drive is. Apparently, there is stealth in this game. There's just a whole ass Statue of Liberty down here.
We should go to navigation point 1 now.
I don't like this one.
Target destroyed!
Whoop. Oh, destroy satellite dishes. These things.
Yeah! That one's headed for the bottom.
Oh, this is as high as you can go. I was kind of wondering about that. What would happen if I tried to get closer to the sky? Destroy all satellite dishes. Oh, I guess I missed one. I'm sure I saw that thing explode. Ah!
Flint, Gotham is now completely without communications. They can't even order a pizza.
Oh, that sucks. You guys have pizza down here? Anchovy pizza, maybe? It's a lot of guns. Yeah, I saw them. Is this the sneaking music? It sounds like sneaking music.
I've got a plan. If we can destroy the Transformers, their ground weapons won't have any more juice.
Flint, there's no turning back. We need to pass them and head to the newly marked canyon.
All right.
We should use the favorable currents here to sneak up. Stay out of sight and no engine noise.
I don't know how to do that. Jenkins our way through here. Okay, maybe not. Load autosave? There's an autosave? It's just at the beginning of the mission, isn't it? Oh, it's not. Okay.
That's not a... Are you...
Clock's here.
Don't...
You...
Did kind of like that gun. Oh, you know what? Let me sell this Vendetta 2, because it's definitely better than that. I guess I should have just hit the retry button. Well, we'll do that next time. If I die again. What is happening here? Go dock. Unskippable cutscenes, of course. Alright, so before we go down that one valley or whatever, we have to figure out what the heck a sneak drive is and how to activate it.
We should go to navigation point 1 now.
Target destroyed!
Laughing at that missile turret getting destroyed. He's like, whoop. It kind of hops off its pedestal and then spawns the explosion effect. It is not a smooth transition.
Flint, Gotham is now completely without communications. They can't even order a pizza.
Still can't skip. I feel like if I was careful, I could just blow all those up anyway. I don't see what the big deal is. And same with this path, really. Like, they show you all this stuff like it's supposed to be a threat to you. But I was flying through, and obviously was taking some hits, but I still had like 85% health. And so I was a little confused about how I died. Unless all of these little bombs, like, they follow you? That could be it.
I've got a plan. If we can destroy the Transformers, their ground weapons won't have any more juice.
Flint, there's no turning back. We need to pass them and head to the newly marked canyon.
Okay, that cycles my weapons. Oh, I didn't realize these guns had an alt fire mode. Fires like all 3 barrels at once. That's interesting. Oh, okay, so that's...
What are you waiting for? To navigation point 2.
I'm trying to figure out how my ship works, lady. I hope that's not it. Engine off. How? I don't know how to turn my engine off. Any guesses?
Are you dreaming? Move it. Go to navigation point 2. Now.
He's getting impatient. Maybe it turns my engine off automatically when I get there at the start of the little tunnel or whatever. Not tunnel, the valley. F buttons don't really do anything.
We should use the favorable currents here to sneak up. Stay out of sight, and no engine noise.
Okay, so if I don't touch my directional controls, I feel like I'm still being targeted. Ow. Well, I didn't get blown up that time, but I almost did. Definitely on the verge of death here. I see. They sent me in alone.
A report from Van der Waals Entropole. The old guard sent a formal warning.
Uh-oh.
Okay, baby. I asked Lieutenants Piccolini and Harper to distract Van der Waals' men.
Comms to Commander. Flint, I'll grab the codes, but you're going to have to give me cover.
Follow the marked object.
I thought I took down all of their turrets and stuff. Only the ones in the valley?
I'm not ready to
What just happened? Okay, it didn't explode. Alright, let's take a look at controls here. I wonder if I'm supposed to use this buzzer to like distract enemies while I float through that valley. Because there's nothing else about like shutting down your weapons or anything. And these are all just directional. Weird. Well, let's try it again. I wish these were skipped. Or that you could save mid-mission, that'd be nice too.
We should go to navigation point 1 now.
Yeah! That one's headed for the bottom. Yeah! That one's headed for the bottom. Yeah! That one's headed for the bottom.
Whoops. There goes the Stanley.
Yeah! Target destroyed! Yeah! Target destroyed! Yeah! That one's headed for the bottom.
Faster.
Flint, Gotham is now completely without communications. They can't even order a pizza.
What would happen if I just tried to take out these things one at a time? Ugh. These little cutscenes are kind of painful. Like it says I'm not supposed to use my engines, but can I use my guns? I feel like these things shoot at me immediately anyway.
I've got a plan. If we can destroy the Transformers, their ground weapons won't have any more juice.
Flint, there's no turning back. We need to pass them and head to the newly marked canyon.
Where did all my health go? How is that hitting me through the rock? That's fucked.
We should go to navigation point 1 now.
Of course, another mechanical downside to all the controls being so much more sluggish than Descent is that it's way harder to dodge these projectiles. When in Descent, I feel like you could dodge things pretty readily. Every time I see that, I don't know if you can catch like the couple frames before the cutscene starts, but it looks like my ship shuts down. The whole screen just like going haywire. I feel like my other strategy could work. Maybe I'll try the plasma gun instead, because I can zoom in on with that. Which I'm thinking means it's a longer range weapon and it's more accurate. Because I blew up one of those guns.
I've got a plan.
It's hard to tell if I was damaging or even hitting the
weapons
others.
won't have any more juice.
Flint, there's no turning back. We need to pass them and head to the newly marked canyon.
Is that doing anything? I see it. Takes like more energy to fire that way. Pretty sure that's still out of range though.
What are you waiting for? To navigation point 2. Let's go.
Oh jeez. shit.
Move it. Go to
Those missiles do a shit ton of damage.
Now.
Oh! He got me. Alright, we're gonna give this one more try. I'll try going the right way this time. But I still can't figure out what it means by engines off. Because there's no way to turn off your engines. Does it just mean go slow? Like, what does it look like if I do this correctly? Will nothing shoot at me?
We should go to navigation point 1 now.
Target destroyed! Target destroyed! Target destroyed! Yeah! That one's headed for the bottom! Yeah! That one's headed for the bottom!
Got him.
Flint, Gotham is now completely without communications. They can't even order a pizza.
So what do you think is going to happen this time? Will we be able to get through it? The question is also, can we get through that valley without taking too much damage? Because there's like a whole level after this. Which also has mysterious wind conditions because I guess my teammates can get shot down. I'll try to follow them more closely if I do make it through. If I don't make it through, I'm probably going to quit for tonight and go to bed.
I've got a plan.
Oh my god.
We can destroy the Transformers. Their ground weapons won't have any
Skip
more
that
juice.
shit. Or at least fast forward it.
Flint, there's no turning back. We need to pass them and head to the newly marked canyon. We should use the favorable currents here to sneak up. Stay out of sight and no engine noise.
That's probably the things that fucks me up the most. Ooh, okay. He still shot at me, but I took minimal damage. Works for me.
A report from Van der Waals Entropol. The old guard sent a formal warning.
Comms to Commander. Flint,
Alright,
I'll grab
so
the codes,
ignore
but
that
you're
one
going to
because
have
it
to
kind
give
of
me cover.
distracted me before.
Follow the marked object.
Got one out. It's probably this missile turret that
I think they going out a little too close. Van der Waals pilots almost had us by the throat. I'm not ready to die. Hang on. We got them in tow now if you get my drift. Get ready.
Damn it, that one really hurt.
Why do these things have so much health? Shit. Oh no, where'd she go? Red area like a weak spot?
Yeah! Target destroyed!
That seems like it.
Okay guys, I've got the code books. Unfortunately, I needed to get a little explicit, so I've got some company. Switch on dipole drive and let's get the hell out of here.
Flint, baby. I got something big on my screen. Really big.
Dipole drive.
Flint, you afterbirth of a rocket slime enemy. It seems I should have motivated my man a bit more. Loyal pilots, concentrate on friendship. Catch the beast and destroy your supremacy and crush your privileges. Blast him till flesh drops on his bones.
I'm probably gonna die.
Target destroyed.
Ah! Oh my god, there's so many of them. Oh, mission completed. Let's get the heck out of here. Ooh, okay. Alright, so can we turn in this mission?
Well done.
Thank you, sir.
We've got the data. What now?
The data will be handed over to Commodore Sewell, but I have something else in mind for you. Admiral Cox assured me you'd help.
Emerald Flint. Selfless and fearless.
He's fearless because he knows his wingman will get him out of whatever mess he gets into.
Yes, I'm sure, Flint. Van der Waal is illegally exploiting methane hydrate from the area known as the Devil's Triangle between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Methane hydrate is an extremely potent energy source, which means Van der Waal is stealing billions of credits and energy from some of our neediest aquatories. Guarding this operation are Van der Waal's old Entropol guard under the command of Christina Lloyd.
Oh, aquatories. Get it? Because
match for those old
they're not territories.
Which is why I'm turning to you.
Spell it out for me. Do you want Lloyd caught?
Yes. But that would be a bonus. Your first job is to find a cargo ship named Cape Fear. It's piloted by Lloyd and armed with heavy weapons, and we want it destroyed. It'll be tough because the ship is well protected by old Interpol guards and scouts and bombers. And remember, don't fire into those hydrate fields or you'll barbecue your own butt. But when you're done, report back here.
Tell me more about this methane hydrate, Chang.
It's strange stuff. 1 cubic centimeter of this burning ice stores up to 170 cubic centimeters
Did he really
of foul-smelling
need to ask that
methane
question?
gas. If the methane comes out of solution and turns into a gas when you're nearby, your ship will sink as the bubbles rise. International agreements outlaw exploitation by private companies, and work on an aqua-wide extraction operation should assure fair and economical distribution of what is a very precious resource.
But ding! Alright, I think we did complete that mission, but I think I am in fact going to end it there. Feeling a little sleepy, feeling a little over all of the dialogue in this game. We'll see if we want to pick that up again next time. Or if we just want to... We could power through and then play Aquanox 2. And then there's another one that actually just came out recently, I think. I don't know about all that. Anyway, we'll figure that out another time. Until then, thank you for joining me. And I'll see you soon.